Hi, grade 3-4. Mr. Harrison here, coming at you from my new home office. Wish I was in class with you all. Hope everyone's doing well. I miss you all, but this will be the next best thing. I'll read this book for you, but first let me show you around. Got the plants over here. I've been watering. Got a nice picture on the wall. This is usually where my dog sits, but I'm not sure where she is right now. Before we read the book today, we'll talk about what I would like you to do after you're done reading or during reading. So this book's about a club that a student creates, and I want you to create your own club using either the paper provided, if your parents could print it for you, or you could just do it on a blank piece of paper. I want you to create your own club. It can be something that you're already in, or it can be a brand new club. I know lots of you will probably choose my favorite topic, Fortnite, but that's okay. You can if you like, but make sure it's appropriate and make sure that you've tell people about your club. Where is it? What are you going to do there? Who can come? That'll be the first thing you do. In this book, it's a make-believe book. It's a fiction book, but there's also some non-fiction parts where it tells you some facts about reptiles. So if you got the printout, I gave you one example that you see in the book, and it says, a crocodile sweats through its mouth. And you learn that from this story today. Some of you might have already known. That's okay too. So I want you to design a poster for a club of your choice, but then I also want you to use some facts from the book that talk about different things that reptiles can do. So I've given you one. I've given you space for 4 more if you can. But if you can just think of 2 or 3 of those, and I'd like to see your work when we do our Zoom. The story is The Reptile Club. There were lots of clubs at Rory's new school, but none seemed quite right for him. Glee club, ballet club, knitting club, karate club, theater club, cooking club. Fire! The astronaut club was too intimidating. The prancing unicorn club was too frilly. The extra math homework club wasn't nearly as much fun as Rory had thought it would be. Why don't you start your own club? Suggested his mom. Make it about something you love, advised his dad. Rory loved deep-fried pickles, corduroy pants, and singing in the shower. But more than anything, Rory loved reptiles. Rory's favorite thing. Pickles, pants, singing in the shower, reptiles. So the next day at school, Rory put up Reptile Club posters and handed out Reptile Club flyers. No one seemed interested, but Rory didn't care. He just knew there were others out there who shared his passion for reptiles and couldn't wait to meet them. When the lunch bell rang on Friday, Rory set out his plastic reptile collection and the lizard-shaped lemon cookies his dad had helped him bake the night before. Then he sat back and waited for his fellow reptile enthusiasts to arrive. Rory waited, and waited, and waited. Just when he was beginning to think that no one was going to show up, he heard whispering in the hallway. Heart thumping, he hurried over to see who it was. Anyone have a guess? For a long moment, Rory just stared at the crocodile, the anaconda, and the gecko, and they just stared at him. Then the crocodile cleared his throat and said, "Is this where the Reptile Club is meeting?" "Yes," said Rory. "Awesome," said the crocodile. "My name is Raoul. I sweat through my mouth." "My name is Miriam," said the anaconda. "I weigh 514 pounds and could swallow you in one bite." "My name is Pierre," squeaked the gecko. "I have no eyelids, so I have to lick my eyeballs to keep them clean and moist." Now remember, You might want to pause the video and reread that, or re-listen to that. That's some facts you might use on your bottom of your writing. Nice to meet you all, said Rory. My name is Rory. I sweat through my armpits. I can swallow a hot dog in one bite, and I would give anything to be able to lick my eyeballs. Everybody laughed. Once the new club members were comfortably settled, they talked about their favorite reptiles. My favorite reptile is my Aunt Gladys because even though she tried to eat me shortly after I hatched, she always gets me terrific birthday presents, said Raoul. Carla Chameleon is my favorite reptile because she is the world's funniest practical joker, said Miriam. My favorite reptile is my friend Jamal because one time I accidentally ripped off his tail and he forgave me even before it grew back, said Pierre. Next, the new club members shared interesting reptile facts. It is a fact that the grouchiest tortoise I ever met was 174 years old, said Raoul. Sorry, I sat on your glasses. It's a fact that I adore Rocky Rodent ice cream, said Miriam. It is a fact that I think Barry the basilisk lizard is a big show-off, sniffed Pierre. Rory and his fellow club members spent the rest of the meeting playing and eating cookies. When the other kids returned from lunch and saw what the Reptile Club was all about, they couldn't wait to join. At first, Raoul, Miriam, and Pierre didn't want to let mammals into their club. Then Rory pointed out that he was a mammal, and also that it wasn't nice to be prejudiced against others just because they had hair and could regulate their body temperature. After that, the reptiles agreed to welcome the mammals with open forelimbs. In the weeks that followed, all sorts of strange and wonderful creatures joined the Reptile Club, and at every meeting they did something fun and different. One week they had a bake sale to raise money to buy a club pet. The following week, they took a trip to the store to choose their pet. The amphibians were all too slimy, the arachnids were all too leggy, and the insects were all too delicious looking. They settled on a cactus, which they named Cornelius. They came up with a secret password and a secret hand signal. Password? Hiss, hiss. Slither, slither. Jump, jump. They went on hikes to observe the local wildlife. They played games like hide and shriek. And guess what I just ate? Looks like the snake ate a chair. Never in the history of the world had mammals and reptiles gotten along so well. Then, one blustery day in late autumn, Raoul said the words that Rory had been both dreading and expecting. It's time for us reptiles to go. Some of us will hibernate, said Miriam. The rest of us will head south, said Pierre. Why? Cried Rory's classmates. Because winter is coming and reptiles can't tolerate the cold, explained Rory. Raoul shook Rory's hand and promised that he'd never forget him. Miriam hugged Rory tight and told him that no mammal had ever understood her so well. Pierre licked Rory's right eyeball and thanked him for everything. One by one, the reptiles said goodbye forever. That winter, not one of Rory's classmates quit the Reptile Club. Partly, this was because they'd become reptile enthusiasts, but mostly it was because they'd become Rory's friends. Rory appreciated their loyalty, but even he had to admit that without Raoul and the others, the Reptile Club meetings just weren't the same. And that is why, one warm day in early spring, Rory had an idea. I think it's time for us to start a new club. The Dinosaur Club. And that's the end of the Reptile Club. One thing I forgot to mention is I want you to rate this book out of 5 stars. Oh, there it is. Like we've been doing with the other stories. 5 being the best book you've ever read, and 1 star being he did not like the book. It's okay, you won't hurt my feelings. Thanks for listening, and we will see those magnificent posters and writing later in the week.